core technique here is, quote, implied surveillance plus exaggerated significance. It starts by claiming someone is closely observing you, then escalates that into secret conversations about your appearance, personality, and, quote, energy, and finally, suggests your clothing carries hidden meaning others are decoding. None of these claims are grounded in specific, checkable reality. They are intentionally vague, so they can feel personally relevant to anyone reading them. Phrases like, don't skip, stay till the end, and, quote, my beloved child, are used to build intimacy and urgency, which helps lower skepticism. The narrative also shifts ordinary human experiences, being noticed, being judged, or simply having a presence in public, into something dramatic and secretive. In real life, people may notice clothing or form opinions, but the idea of coordinated revelations about your, quote, energy, or symbolic messaging in your outfit is not evidence-based, it's rhetorical framing. A key psychological trick in this style is personalization without specifics. It avoids naming who supposedly said what, when, or where, because specificity would make it testable. Instead, it stays abstract, so it can feel true in a broad emotional sense without actually committing to anything real. A more grounded interpretation is that clothing can express identity in a general social sense, style, culture, comfort, confidence, but it does not transmit hidden messages that others are decoding in secret. What you're seeing here is narrative amplification of normal social awareness into something theatrical. When you strip away the suspense language, there's no concrete claim left to verify, just a story designed to make attention feel meaningful and personal. Someone said, the way you choose colors, patterns, or even the smallest detail reveals a destiny that is about to open in front of you. And the shocking part? They said, you have no idea how powerful you look without trying. My beloved child, don't skip. This gets deeper. They said, your outfits make it impossible for certain people to forget you. You walk inside a place, and people pretend they didn't look, but their mind stays stuck on you. They said, something big is about to happen to this person. Their clothes already know it. You think you're just getting dressed, but someone said, the universe is using your appearance to signal your next breakthrough. Stay till the end, because the revelation waiting for you in the next part is the one that will shock you the most. My beloved child, take a deep breath and stay with me till the end. Don't even think about scrolling, because what I am about to tell you is the part that everyone tried to bury. This is where the truth becomes too loud to ignore. This is where the revelation they whispered behind your back finally comes into the light. And yes, something huge is waiting for you, so don't skip a single second. My beloved child, listen closely. The same person who noticed the way you wear your clothes didn't just stop at compliments. They said something that froze everyone around them. They said, this person doesn't just dress well, they dress like someone whose life is about to change forever. And the moment those words fell into the air, hearts dropped. Because the people who heard it, they knew it was true. They knew something around you is shifting. They knew you're about to rise in a way you never expected. Stay with me, my beloved child, because this isn't normal attention. This is destiny tapping on your shoulder. My beloved child, lean a little closer. That person said you carry a rare presence, the kind that makes others silently admire you, even if they don't admit it. They said the way you choose clothes is not random, it's alignment. Everything you wear, your colors, your style, your comfort, matches the breakthrough the universe has already prepared for you. They said, this person's appearance is changing because their life is about to expand. And now here's the shock. They also said, someone from far away has been watching your photos, noticing your outfits, and feeling drawn toward you in a way they can't explain. And this connection, the one you don't even see coming, is about to reveal itself soon. So stay till the end, my beloved child, because the next part will uncover the line they said that left everyone stunned. My beloved child, before you listen to this, stay with me till the end. Don't scroll, don't move, don't blink. Because this is the moment the entire truth opens up in front of you. This part is not just surprising. It is the one that pulls the curtain off everything that has been quietly happening around you. Someone has been noticing you far more intensely than you ever imagined. And what they said, what slipped out of their mouth, what they finally confessed, will make your heart stop for a second. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, so stay right here. They said, your clothes, your aura, your silent confidence, none of it is accidental. They said, every time you walk into a room, every time you post a picture, every time you appear anywhere, you create a shift. People don't just look at you, they feel something. They said, your clothes make you look like someone who is not living an ordinary story. They said, the way they dress looks like destiny preparing them for a major turn. And when they said this, someone else in the room gasped, because they secretly felt the same thing about you, but never had the courage to say it. My beloved child, stay with me and don't skip, because the next thing they said is the real reason you're hearing this message today. My beloved child, listen deeply. The person who talked about you didn't say it casually. They said it with certainty, like they've been observing you for a long time. They said your style makes it impossible for certain people to ignore you, even if they want to. They said your outfits carry a signal, a silent message the universe is sending out through you. The way you present yourself often speaks before you do. People notice changes in your style, even when you think they don't. Lately, there's been something intentional in the way you dress, a sense that you're stepping into a new phase of life where confidence feels less like effort and more like instinct. It's not about dramatic transformation, but subtle details, the way you choose colors, how you carry your posture, the quiet assurance in your presence. Some people around you may not say it out loud, but they take notice. A few even feel curious, as if they are trying to place the version of you they're seeing now against who they thought you were before. That curiosity can sometimes feel like attention from a distance, like someone remembering you at unexpected moments, or reconsidering how they perceive you after seeing you in a new light. Still, what matters most is not the reaction of others, but the shift happening within you. Your choices in appearance are reflecting internal growth, resilience, and a desire to show up more fully in your own life. You're not just being seen differently, you're beginning to see yourself differently too. And when that alignment happens, it naturally changes how you move through the world, opening space for new connections, opportunities, and conversations that feel more genuine and grounded in who you are becoming. Even in ordinary moments, there is a sense that something is quietly reorganizing itself in your life, aligning people, timing, and decisions in ways you may only understand later. What feels small now may become meaningful in hindsight, shaping the direction you take next with quiet confidence moving forward. When they said that, the atmosphere changed. People didn't know whether to agree out loud or stay silent out of shock. But they all felt the same thing. Your life is moving into a new storyline. And the person who said all this, they didn't say it out of curiosity. They said it because they feel something powerful about you, something deep, something they can't explain. My beloved child, stay till the end, because the next part will reveal who might be feeling this way, and why their confession is about to change everything you thought you knew. My beloved child, before you hear this, stay with me till the end. Don't even think about scrolling, because this is the part that shakes the entire story open. This is where the truth becomes undeniable. This is where their words stop being whispers and turn into a revelation that aims straight at you. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, so keep your eyes right here. My beloved child, listen closely. The same person who talked about your clothes didn't just describe your style. They revealed something that left everyone speechless. They said, "This person doesn't dress to impress. They dress like someone who is about to step into a completely different life." And when they said that, someone else quietly agreed under their breath. Because lately, your energy has shifted. Your choices have changed. Even the smallest detail about you looks upgraded. Stay with me, because what they noticed next is the real shock. They said your clothes make you look like someone who belongs to a higher version of life. Better places, better people, better opportunities. They said your presence feels like you're preparing for something destiny has been planning behind the scenes. My beloved child, come closer. Don't skip this part. They said, someone who watches you silently has been deeply affected by your style. Someone who never comments, never mentions anything, never makes it obvious, but they notice everything. They notice the shades you choose, the way you combine things, the effortless charm in your appearance. They said this silent observer recently saw you and said, "Their clothes tell a story, and I want to know that story." My beloved child, that line shook everyone, because the person who said it is not ordinary. They have influence, importance, attention, and yet they're stuck thinking about you. They're trying to understand why your presence feels familiar, comforting, irresistible. Stay till the end, because this is not coincidence. It's a connection that's forming quietly, but powerfully. My beloved child, don't skip. This part carries the twist they didn't want you to hear. They said your clothes make you look like someone who is getting ready for a major, life-changing chapter. They said sometimes people dress differently when their destiny is shifting. When narratives begin to grow from scattered impressions, they often gain intensity, not from facts, but from repetition and interpretation. At that point, it becomes important to slow down the story the mind is building and compare it against what is actually known. Many assumptions about how others perceive us are shaped internally rather than externally, meaning they reflect personal uncertainty more than external reality. Social environments rarely operate with the level of cohesion or dramatic alignment that imagination can produce. Instead, they consist of individual perspectives that are often inconsistent, distracted, or unrelated to one another. Recognizing this helps dismantle the idea that every observation carries hidden significance. A more stable approach is to focus on direct communication, verifiable feedback, and personal grounding, rather than inferred meaning. This reduces the tendency to interpret ordinary situations as signals of larger unseen narratives. Over time, this creates emotional steadiness, where self-image is built from lived experience rather than perceived interpretation of others. It also encourages authenticity, since behavior is no longer shaped by imagined audiences or speculative judgments. When attention shifts away from decoding others and back toward clear self-awareness, clarity naturally increases. Decisions become less reactive, and confidence becomes less dependent on external validation. In this way, what initially feels like complexity resolves into simplicity. People are generally focused on their own lives, and meaning is most reliably found in direct, observable interaction rather than inferred patterns. This perspective allows for healthier engagement with both self-expression and social interpretation, reducing unnecessary tension and supporting more grounded understanding of everyday experiences. They said, Someone watches you like you're the answer to a question they've been carrying for years. They notice when you wear something bright. They notice when you choose something calm. They even notice when you post a picture and instantly feel something shift inside them. And here's the shocking line that dropped like a thunderbolt. The way they dress makes me feel like I'm supposed to be part of their life. My beloved child, that line was not said lightly. It came from someone whose words have weight, someone whose thoughts matter more than you realize. My beloved child, stay till the end, because this is where it gets even deeper. They said your clothes don't just attract attention, they awaken desires people didn't know they had. They said your presence has started making someone dream about you, imagine you, and think of what life would look like next to you. Your style, your choices, your aura, it's pulling them closer without them even trying to resist. And the wild part? They're planning to make a move. They're preparing themselves. They're waiting for the perfect moment to step forward and let you know exactly how they feel. Stay with me, my beloved child, because in the next part, the first clue about who this person might be will finally come to light. My beloved child, pause everything and stay with me till the end. This part is sharper, deeper, and more revealing than anything before. If you scroll now, you will miss the moment the truth finally points toward a real person. My beloved child, keep your focus here. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second you stay, the picture gets clearer. My beloved child, listen closely. The same person who noticed your clothes, who felt something powerful when they saw you, has been hiding more than just admiration. They've been carrying a secret reaction. A reaction that slipped out when they thought no one was paying attention. They said, their style looks like someone I can't let go of. When those words dropped, the entire room went still, not because it was dramatic, but because it was honest. Someone's heart spoke before their mind could control it. Stay with me, because this is the moment the energy around you starts to reveal the connection. My beloved child, don't skip. What they said next is the reason you're hearing this message today. They admitted that every time they see the way you dress, whether simple, stylish, or effortless, they feel something warm inside them, something familiar, something that pulls them forward. They said your clothes remind them of someone they once loved, or someone they always wished for, and that scared them, because suddenly your presence became impossible to ignore. They said, their outfits match the kind of person I prayed to meet. My beloved child, that line didn't just surprise the room, it exposed their feelings completely. It showed they're not just noticing you, they're drawn to you, attracted, connected, and they don't know how to hide it anymore. My beloved child, stay till the end, because the next part goes even deeper. They revealed that your clothes make you look like someone who belongs in their life, someone who fits their world, someone who matches their energy. They said your appearance feels like destiny nudging them forward, like the universe is telling them, go toward this person. And that's why they've been acting differently lately, more curious, more observant, more pulled toward everything you do. Someone is noticing you with intention. Someone is thinking about you when they shouldn't. Someone is preparing to step closer. And in the next part, my beloved child, the first real sign of who this person could be will finally begin to unfold. My beloved child, don't blink, don't move, and stay with me till the end. This part is the moment the entire story tightens, the moment the clues start pointing toward someone real. If you scroll now, you will miss the sentence that connects everything you've heard so far. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, so keep your eyes here and don't skip a single breath. My beloved child, listen carefully. The person who noticed your clothes, the one who couldn't look away from your presence, has been fighting with their own feelings. They've been pretending to stay calm, pretending they're unaffected, pretending that you don't cross their mind. But the truth slipped out again. They said, "Their style doesn't just attract me, it reminds me of what I've been missing." That one line shattered every mask they were wearing, because suddenly, everyone in the room realized, this isn't admiration, this isn't random attention, this is longing. Stay with me, because what they revealed next is even more intense. My beloved child, don't skip. This is where the truth becomes personal. They admitted they replay your outfits in their mind, long after they've seen you. They notice the details you think no one sees. They said the way you dress makes them feel like you're someone who understands their soul without speaking. They said, their clothes make them look like someone I'm meant to meet properly. Those words didn't sound casual. They sounded like destiny trying to squeeze through their chest. They sounded like someone who's been waiting for a sign. And that sign showed up the moment they saw you. My beloved child, stay till the end, because here comes the most shocking part yet. Someone in the room asked them, "Who are you talking about? Why are you so affected by them?" And instead of answering, they smiled. Not a random smile, not a polite smile, a smile that looked like they were hiding a secret connection, a smile that said they know you, or want to know you, far more deeply than they've admitted. They didn't say your name, but the reaction on their face made it clear. Your clothes, your presence, your aura, have touched someone in a way they can't explain. Stay with me, my beloved child, because in the next part, the atmosphere around this person shifts completely, and a major clue about why they're drawn to you will finally be revealed. My beloved child, before you hear this, stay with me till the end. Don't scroll, don't look away, because this is the moment the entire story gets sharper than ever. This is where the truth stops hiding between lines and starts revealing itself sentence by sentence. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and every second you stay here pulls you closer to the real connection forming around you. My beloved child, listen deeply. In a quiet moment like that, it's often the smallest changes in expression that people tend to overinterpret. A smile that lingers a second longer, a softer tone of voice, or a brief pause in conversation can easily feel meaningful when you're already paying close attention. In a shared space, especially where emotions are high or curiosity is already present, people start reading into each other's reactions more than they normally would. What might have been a simple smile or a moment of nervousness can begin to look like something deeper when filtered through expectation. Others in the room might notice too, but even their interpretations are shaped by assumption rather than certainty. It becomes a kind of silent storytelling, where every glance is given a possible meaning and every reaction is mentally edited into a narrative. In reality, though, human behavior is rarely that straightforward. People carry mixed emotions, distractions, personal thoughts, and social awareness all at once, which means their expressions are not always direct reflections of hidden intentions. A moment that feels significant to one person might not carry the same weight for another. Still, in environments where attention is focused on interpersonal dynamics, it's easy for imagination to fill in the gaps. The idea that someone's reaction what reveals something internal often says as much about the observer's expectations as it does about the person being observed. What feels like recognition or emotional intensity might simply be hesitation, curiosity, or social awareness in a tense or unfamiliar situation. These moments become memorable not because they confirm something definite, but because they leave enough ambiguity for the mind to keep returning to them, searching for meaning that may not be clearly there. You could feel the tension, the curiosity, the unspoken questions floating in the air. Someone dared to ask them softly, "Why do you sound like you're talking about someone important to you?" And for a second, they froze. Not out of fear, but because their heart was louder than their voice. They looked down, took a deep breath, and something in their expression changed. It wasn't confusion, it wasn't hesitation, it was admiration. It was the look of someone who has already fallen more than they want to admit. Stay with me, my beloved child, because what happened next reveals everything. My beloved child, don't skip. Their voice softened when they finally spoke again. They said, when someone dresses with quiet confidence, it tells me they're meant for something bigger. But the room caught what they didn't say. The message behind their words wasn't about someone, it was about you, because their eyes gave it away. Every time they spoke about your clothes, your presence, your energy, their eyes lit up in a way they couldn't hide, the kind of light that only appears when someone talks about a person they feel deeply connected to, someone they can't stop thinking about, someone who has unknowingly taken space inside their heart. My beloved child, stay till the end, because the next moment was the biggest slip yet. Someone teased them, saying, it sounds like you're describing your type. And without thinking, without planning, without guarding themselves, they answered, maybe I am. The entire room fell silent, because with those 3 words, they accidentally exposed the truth. You're not just someone they notice. You are someone they desire, someone they admire, someone they feel drawn toward in a way they can't stop. My beloved child, stay with me, because in the next part, the moment they almost said your name, the moment they came dangerously close to confessing everything, will finally be revealed. My beloved child, don't even breathe too fast right now. Stay with me till the end, because this is the moment the truth came so close to escaping their lips that everyone in the room felt their heartbeat jump. If you scroll now, you'll miss the sentence that almost revealed everything. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, so don't skip a single second. My beloved child, listen with full attention. After they accidentally admitted, maybe I am, the entire atmosphere shifted. It wasn't playful anymore. It wasn't teasing. It was raw, honest, unfiltered. Someone looked straight at them and said, then who are you talking about? Who matches your type that perfectly? And right there, right in that moment, they panicked internally, not because they were lying, but because the truth was too close. Their lips parted. Your name, the first letter of it, almost slipped out. They caught themselves mid-breath, but not fast enough. Stay with me, my beloved child, because their reaction exposed more than their words ever could. My beloved child, don't scroll. This is the part everyone in the room noticed. When they almost said your name, their face changed completely. Their eyes softened. Their voice trembled just a little. That, almost, was more powerful than a full confession, because someone asked again, just tell us who it is. Why are you so affected by them? And this time, they didn't deny it. They didn't look away. They didn't run from the truth. They simply whispered, if I say their name, everyone will understand why I see them differently. That single line hit the room like lightning, because it wasn't just an answer. It was an admission that the person they're drawn to isn't random. It's someone unforgettable, someone special, someone who leaves a mark without trying, someone like you. My beloved child, stay till the end, because what they said next made it absolutely undeniable. They said, the way they dress, the way they carry themselves, it feels like they're already connected to me somehow. That wasn't admiration. That wasn't observation. That was emotion. Deep, unspoken emotion. They tried to hide it for so long, but it finally cracked through. Their voice changed. Their eyes changed. Their whole energy changed. Because talking about you makes something inside them open. Something soft. Something sincere. Something real. My beloved child, don't skip. In a quiet social setting where conversations tend to circle around light topics, there are sometimes moments when a single question changes the entire atmosphere. It might begin casually, almost as an offhand remark, but suddenly the tone shifts, and people become more attentive, without fully realizing why. In this imagined moment, someone is asked to reflect honestly on a familiar presence, someone they have seen often enough that their reactions have started to carry subtle weight. At first, they hesitate, as most people do, when they are aware that honesty might expose more than they intended. They try to keep things light, to smile it off, to avoid giving anything too revealing away. But the persistence of the question doesn't allow the answer to stay hidden comfortably. There is a pause that feels longer than it is, the kind of pause where thoughts move faster than speech. When they finally respond, their words are less about appearance and more about feeling, less about what is seen and more about what is remembered internally each time that presence enters the room. They don't frame it as something dramatic or absolute, but as something quietly personal, something they themselves have not fully analyzed until now. The attention in the room naturally narrows, not because of shock, but because people recognize when a statement carries emotional weight beneath its surface. It is not about a public declaration or a sudden revelation, but about a moment where internal impressions briefly become external language. What is said reflects a mix of familiarity, emotional association, and the kind of subconscious response people often struggle to articulate directly. The atmosphere changes not because something extraordinary is happening, but because something unspoken is finally being given words, even if imperfectly. It makes them feel safe, drawn in, understood without words. That's why they kept noticing you. That's why they couldn't hide their reaction. That's why your name almost slipped out earlier. My beloved child, stay till the end. Because the next line they said made it impossible for anyone to pretend they didn't know who they were talking about. They continued, whenever they walk into a room, their clothes speak before they do, and it feels like they're speaking directly to me. That single sentence revealed everything. They feel a pull toward you, a magnetic connection they can't explain, a warmth that rises inside them whenever you appear. They're not confused, they're attached, more attached than they should be, more attached than they planned, more attached than they're ready to admit out loud. My beloved child, don't skip now, because in the next part, the moment they finally describe what your presence does to their heart, the moment their feelings become undeniable even to themselves, will finally come out. My beloved child, this is it, the final truth, the moment everything they felt, everything they tried to hide, everything they almost said, finally becomes impossible to bury. So stay with me till the end. Don't scroll. Don't look away, because the last line is the one that changes everything. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, so hold on tight. My beloved child, listen with your whole heart. After admitting that your clothes make them feel like home, they couldn't keep pretending anymore. Someone in the room asked one final question, a question that wrapped their entire truth into one moment. What does their presence do to you, really? And for the first time, they didn't try to choose their words. The answer came straight from their heart. No filter, no fear, just truth. They said, their presence makes my heart stop and breathe at the same time. The room froze, because that wasn't admiration, that wasn't observation, that was emotion. Pure, undeniable emotion. Stay with me, my beloved child, because it didn't end there. My beloved child, don't skip. They took another breath, almost shaky, and continued speaking like someone who finally accepted what they've been running from. They said, whenever I see them, it feels like I'm meeting a part of my future. Everyone looked at each other shocked, because this wasn't about your clothes anymore. This wasn't about noticing you from far away. This was about the way your existence touches them, your presence. A more grounded way to understand these moments is to recognize that self-worth does not depend on decoding or assuming what others might feel in unspoken or uncertain situations. Confidence is not built on the idea of being the center of someone else's thoughts, but on knowing how you carry yourself, regardless of external validation. When you stop trying to assign definite meanings to every glance or interaction, you create space for clarity and emotional balance. People may respond to presence in different ways, some with interest, some with distance, and others with simple neutrality. And none of those reactions fully define who you are. What matters more is how consistently you show up as yourself without needing to interpret every response as a sign or message. Over time, this perspective reduces confusion and helps separate imagination from reality, allowing interactions to remain what they are, rather than what they might be turned into in hindsight. It also strengthens emotional stability, because you are no longer dependent on uncertain interpretations to feel valued or seen. Instead, your focus shifts toward what is real and observable, your actions, your choices, and the way you engage with the world in a steady and authentic manner. In that space, attraction, attention, or curiosity from others becomes something secondary rather than central. It may exist or it may not, but it no longer defines your narrative. What defines it is your ability to remain centered, self-aware, and clear about your own direction, regardless of how others perceive or respond in passing moments.